video shows the moment the Jeju Airlines passenger jet touched down in Muon, South Korea, the belly of the jet skidding on the tarmac before it slams into a concrete wall, exploding into a fireball. Flight 2216 was carrying 175 passengers from Bangkok, Thailand. Rescue crews immediately launched a search for survivors. At least 2 crew members were pulled out of the wreckage alive and conscious, but officials say most of the people on board died in the fire. The airline apologized and said the 15-year-old Boeing 737-800 jet was up to date on its maintenance. The early focus of the investigation is on why landing gear appeared to malfunction. Officials have recovered the plane's black box with flight data and cockpit voice recordings and said the air control tower had issued a bird strike warning to the plane before landing. In a statement, Boeing said it is in contact with the airline and, quote, "We extend our deepest condolences to the families who lost loved ones, and our thoughts remain with the passengers and crew."
Investigators continue to look for answers after an airliner skidded off the end of a runway and burst into flames in South Korea. Most of the 179 passengers and crew who died have now been identified.
예, 그 국가수에 DNA 샘플을 보내서 32명을 이제 미확인 인원 중을 확인했었는데 그 중에서 27명은 완료가 된 상태고요. 5명에 대해서는 아침 기준으로 정밀 재검사가 진행 중이고 최대한 빠른 시간 내에 결과를 다시 받아서 확인을 할 예정입니다. 저희가 당초 생각하는 일정보다 좀 지연된 부분은 틀림없이 있었습니다만 그래도 밤새서 인력을 최대한 투입을 하고 시간을 단축하기 위해서 노력했다는 말씀도 드립니다.
Investigators have started studying the plane's 2 black boxes, the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. Authorities say the data recorder, however, is missing a critical connector that's making it harder for data to be retrieved. The aircraft made a belly landing before overrunning the runway and exploding as it crashed into a concrete embankment around 250 meters from the end of the runway. Now, that structure has a navigation system mounted on top, and that assists in landings. The government says it is examining regulations around the wall in question after experts pointed out risks about having a concrete structure so close to the runway. Concerns have also been raised about staffing levels at Muon Airport. A local newspaper reports that only 1 member of the airport's bird alert team was working on the day of the incident, and this has prompted questions about whether operational protocol was sufficient after a suspected bird strike was identified as one of the likely causes of the incident.
The bereaved family members listened carefully as names were called out. These are the names of the victims whose bodies have been identified using their DNA and fingerprints. Of the 181 people on board the ill-fated Jeju Air flight from Bangkok to Muon, only 2 survived. Families of the victims have been here at Muon International Airport since Sunday, waiting for any bit of information they can get. Some vented their frustration and anger at officials, like this man. But soon he was in tears as others tried to console him. Family members together or on their own, all trying to come to grips with reality in their own ways. All he wants now is to give them a proper send-off.
어디 안 하려고 조용히 사유집에 같이 합동으로 장례 이번에 치르기로 했으니까 저희는 치르고 일상으로 좀 돌아갔으면 좋겠습니다.
Several high-ranking government officials, including acting President Choi Sang-mok, were at the scene trying to console families. He had ordered an emergency safety inspection of the overall airline operation system as investigators tried to find out the cause of the fatal crash. With South Korea in a period of national mourning, a temporary altar was set up at Muan Sports Complex on Monday for the public to pay their respects. But it remains quite empty, at least for now. Many bereaved families prefer to remain inside the airport halls and stay close to where the crash happened, as recovery efforts are still underway.
아니 근데 100에 몇 프로만 있는지 10%인지 30%인지 50%인지 육안으로 확인할 수 있는지 확인이 안 되는지 또 나머지 몸에서 떨어져 나가는 부분이 있다면 그 부분은 수습을 하고 있는지.
Until the bodies are all recovered and identified, families will continue to stay in these makeshift shelters, waiting to bring their loved ones home.